A pleasant day to each and everyone. So we are the group 3, and for this video we're going to tackle about the chapter 8, which is the managing a new and diverse workforce. So in this chapter we are going to tackle about the nature of diversity and distinguish among diversity management, equal employment opportunity, and affirmative action. Identify and describe the major dimensions of diversity in organizations. Discuss the primary impact of diversity on organizations. Describe individual and organizational strategies and approaches to coping with diversity, and discuss the multicultural organization. Discuss the basic issues in managing knowledge workers, and relate human resource management to social issues. So for overview of this chapter, most organizations recognize that diversity increase the workforce uh, effectiveness, and it add values in a various ways. Initially, people tend to associate diversity with attributes such as gender, skin color, and national origin. But these dimensions are not just what diversity is, because diversity is a broad concept encompassing a wide range of differences. So this broad understanding of diversity presents both challenges, as this diversity in a organization will give uh, adjustments to the organizations to adjust for the diversity, like uh, different perspectives of the employees in the organizations, and opportunities, because each employees or each individuals have a perspective. They have different perspectives, and these perspectives could help the or could contribute to the companies, to the organizations, to uh, gain competitive advantage. So now let's proceed to the eighth one, the nature of workforce diversity. So we tackle that diversity is about the differences of characteristics of each employees. So this diversity exists in a group or organization when its members differ from each other, or with different dimensions, which is we're going to tackle uh, later on. So there is no diversity if everyone in the group or the organization is exactly the same. Example, if they are Filipino men and they are 20 years old, then there is no diversity. Otherwise, if everyone is different from each other, uh, along with every imaginable dimensions, like the gender, the age, and other dimensions that we will going to tackle, it means that there is a diversity or total diversity existing in the group. So these dimensions of diversity might include the gender, age, ethnic origin, and other dimensions. Thus, diversity is not an absolute phenomenon, as there is no, or in reality, there is no group or organization that a uh, has a exactly same employees or with total diversity. But the diversity in every group is in between these two, and it should be conceptualized as continuum, as not everyone in or every organization are changing their employees. It's either monthly or yearly or something like that. As these employees going in and out of the organization, there are more participants, there are more members of the group, and it contributes to the diversification of the organization. Next is the 8.1b, which is the trends in workforce diversity. So in this one, the increasingly diversity is in organizations, and the factors driving these trends. Key reasons include changing labor force demographics, with more women and minorities entering the workforce, which has expanded to the talent pool. So it means that these organizations, it expands to the point that it change, no, or it include changing labor force, such as uh, more women and minorities are entering the workforce, which means that organizations have more choices to choose from, and organizations are also recognizing the hiring based on talent instead of based on the dimensions, which is the gendered race, as it improves the workforce actually and quality, workforce quality, and provides a competitive advantage compared to the competitors. So additionally, legislation has reduced discriminatory hiring practices, as this is not very practical and this is very biased. So it leads to a more diverse workforce. Also, globalization is a factor, as companies operating internationally must adapt to various customs and employ a more diverse staff.
Diversity management versus other concepts. Equal employment opportunity means treating people fairly and equally and taking action that do not discriminate against people in protected classes on the basis of some illegal standard. Diversity management places a much heavier emphasis on recognizing and appreciating differences among people at work and attempting to provide accommodation for those differences to the extent that is feasible and possible. Similarities among people at work. Despite the difference in appearance and background, nearly all employees share some core similarities. For instance, most work to meet various needs, often linked to financial security. Additionally, people generally want to be treated with respect and dignity by their employees. Most individuals are also capable of being reasonable and understanding when they encounter fair treatment from others. Differences among people at work. While numerous employees possess certain fundamental characteristics in common, they still have various differences such as gender, ethnicity, and age. This diversity extends far beyond incorporating a wide array of factors including religious beliefs, dietary preferences, and political philosophies. Identical treatment versus equitable treatment. After the passage of Title 7 of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, many HR managers believed they had to treat everyone the same, but this isn't the intent of law. Instead, it encourages recognizing and respecting differences among people at work while ensuring fair treatment. For instance, while many companies observe Christian holidays, they should also accommodate employees of different faiths by recognizing their important religious holiday. Gender differences also require consideration. For example, women may need longer maternity leave and a gradual return to work after childbirth. The Americans with Disability Act adds complexity by prohibiting discrimination against employees with disabilities while requiring reasonable accommodation. However, accommodation may also be desired by other employees, leading to potential feelings of unfairness. This dynamic can create tension in workplace as able-bodied may resent accommodation perceived as unfair while employees with disabilities may hesitate to request them. Managers must acknowledge these differences and strive for equitable solutions that allow everyone to contribute and advance within the organization.
So next is dimensions of diversity. Diversity in organizations involve different dimensions like age, gender, ethnicity, disability, and other dimensions of diversity. These dimensions shape how companies manage their workforce, ensuring that each employee's unique background is considered. Embracing diversity allows organization to bring in varied perspectives which can improve the workforce. So firstly, we're going to talk about the age distribution. So in the United States, the workforce is aging due to several factors such as the baby boomers or generation born after the World War II are getting older. Meanwhile, the younger generations are entering the workforce at a lower rate due to lower birth rates. This means mas konti ang mga bagong pasok sa trabaho compared sa mga previous years. Also, mas maganda na ngayon ang healthcare kaya people can stay productive and work longer. Kaya kung dati, mabilis mag-retire ang mga tao, ngayon marami na yung nag-extend pa ng work years beyond the traditional retirement age. Tumataas din kasi yung legal retirement age, so mas marami nang nag-i-stay sa trabaho ng mas matagal. And mas konti yung opportunity for the younger generations to enter into the workforce. So, how does this trend affect the HRM? This aging workforce bring both challenges and opportunities. Older workers are mass experienced bringing valuable knowledge and skills to the company. On the other hand, kailangan din ng adjustment sa work environment to accommodate their physical needs like flexible working hours. It's important na organizations manage these shifts effectively para ma-help yung both older and younger workers to thrive.
So next is gender. As more as females have entered the workforce, organizations have subsequently experienced changes relative proportion of male to female employees from figure 8.3 that highlights those trends in gender composition as well as their ethnicity in the workplace. So dito, as more as women who have entered sa work of the organization, they have seen those shifts in the ratios of sa mga employees, both men and women, or sa mga lalaki at babae sa mga organisasyon. Ayon sa data ng census noong 2010, ang mga babae ay umabot sa 4.9% ng workforce and tumaas siya from 45.2% noong 1990. So it means mas mataas yung 2010 na percentage ng women, which is the 47.9 kesa nung 1990 na 46. Ay, mas mataas pala yung mas mataas yung 47.9 ng 2010 sa 1990, which is the 45.2. Well, noong 2000 is 46.6 ang percentage ng census organization. Bagaman umuusad yung mga bilang ng mga women kababaihan sa trabaho, may isang mahalagang suliranin kaugnay na kasarian na nararanasan ng organization. Next is the ethnicity. A third major dimension of cultural diversity in organization is the ethnicity or the ethnic composition of the group or organization. Within the United States, most of the organizations reflect varying degrees of ethnicity and composed of white Africans Americans, Hispanics, and Asian Americans. So the biggest changes over the years have involved white and Hispanics, in particular percentage of white workforce, which has dropped on 69.2% in 2010, while in 2000 is 73.1%. So it means mas mataas yung 73% ng workforce noong 2000, while in 1997 is 77.7%. So, ang ethnic composition ay isang group or organization ng malaking aspeto of the cultural diversity sa mga organization, which is the ethnicity. In US, marami yung mga organization na nagpapakita ng iba't ibang antas ng ethnicity composed of the white African Americans, Hispanics, at Asian Americans. So the biggest changes over the years have involved white and Hispanics. Specifically, as I said, the percentage of the 69.2 in 2010, while in 2000 is 73.1, then sa 1990 is 77.7%. Samantala, ang porsyento ng mga Hispanics ay tumaas noong 2010, which is 13.3% from 10.9% noong 2010. While percentage ng Hispanics ay tumaas din ng 13.3 from 2010 from 10.9 noong 2000. From 1990 is From 1990 is 8.5% ng percent ng African Americans ay nananatiling stable ng 10.9%. So, it is important to know that the ethnicity of the organization because dahil dito ay nakakatulong tayo sa pag-unawa ng mga natatanging pananaw or ng mga experience ng mga empleyado. Next is the disability is another significant of dimension of diversity. Disability can change from being impairments to missing fingers or limbs, blindness, and paralysis. The presence of disability represents another aspect of the diversity organizations, but among persons who have disability, some differences are important as well as unlike other dimension of dramatically as function of several dimensions of the disability. So, ang disability or kapansanan ay isang mahalagang aspeto ng diversity. Disability can change range from physical impairments, yung kapansanan tulad ng nawawalang daliri or limbs, pagkabulag, paralysis, or paralyzed. Ang pagkakaroon ng disability ay nagre-represent in the aspects ng diversity sa mga organization or sa mga taong may kapansanan. So, disability is another significant of dimension of diversity that can range, as I said, there are key dimensions of disability, the origin of disability, kung saan ang pinagmula ng kapansanan or kung ito ba ay inborn. Halimbawa na lang, for example, ang isang tao na sugatan dahil sa pagmamaneho or na disgrasya. Tapos, doon siya nagkaroon ng disability. While, isang tulad ng, while ang inborn na blind, hindi na nakakakita. Other dimension of diversity. In addition to age, gender, ethnicity, and disability, status organization are also confronting other dimension of this diversity. One of this, sexual orientation, discussed earlier, the Supreme Court has upheld the right for the same-sex couples to be married. So, sa kalagayan ng sexual orientation in terms sa US, kahit na naipasa ng korte ang batas which is nag-agree or nagpapahintulot sa mga same-sex couples to be married or magpapakasal, wala pang pambansang batas na nagbabawal sa discrimination laban sa mga taong ito or sa mga same-sex couples dahil sa kanilang sexual orientation. So, in fact, there are some state law which is a 22 ang nagpro-protect sa mga tao in terms or like this discrimination. So, their Employment for Non-Discrimination Act or the ENDA and ENDA, which is the employment non-discrimination. Several years, Representative Barney Frank or the DMAS introduced ang Employment of Non-Discrimination Act, but until now ay hindi pa rin ito naipapasa ng Kongreso. Gayunpaman, may dalawang mahalagang pagbabago or developments na naganap, which is the corporate policies and the public awareness. Sa corporate policies, maraming kumpanya nagpapatupad ng policies na para mag-protect sa mga empleyado batay sa kanilang sexual orientation, and kahit na wala pang pambansang law or batas. Ito rin ang nagpapakita sa pagtaas ng kamalayan at suporta para sa LGBTQ rights sa mga organization. Number 2 is the public awareness. Ang mga pag-uusap tungkol sa diversity na ito at inclusion ay naging mas malawak kung saan ang sexual orientation ay isang pangunahing paksa. With sexual orientation being their key topic or yun na nga, pangunahing bansa, many organizations have organized trainings and seminars to better understand the discrimination issues.
To discuss here the impact of diversity on organizations, firstly, we have this diversity and social change. In here, it is stated that diversity can significantly affect an organization as a force for social change. So, to give you a thorough example of this, in instance, you as a manager who's exposed to diverse cultures and backgrounds, hindi ka na gaanong mahihirapan in terms of communication or in interaction with your co-employees or co-workers. Most especially if you are in an outside setting of an organization like global events. Why is this so? Since iba't iba naman kasi ang preference ng isang tao, most especially when it comes to communication. Some people prefer direct, while some prefer indirect communication. So, as a manager, given na may background ka na sa mga ganitong circumstances, you know better how to handle them. Similarly, if an organization is already used to dealing with people from different backgrounds, mas madali sa kanila to fit into a diverse workplace since they already know how to properly address one's culture or backgrounds in spite of indifferences. With this, they have the advantage to work well with everyone. Learning to work with diversity at work or in life makes it easier to interact with people from all backgrounds in different situations. Thus, diversity in organization both facilitates and is facilitated by social change in the environment. Additional reason that affects social change is how an organization portray themselves and their product in the public. So, let's say an organization created an advertisement and in that advertisement, puro male executives lang. As an individual who's not part of that certain organization, I'll have this thought or perspective that this organization is not into diversity and inclusion. On the other hand, that if it's the opposite, so let's say the organization portrayed a diverse set of people, this organization truly values diversity and inclusion in their workplace or in their organization as a whole. Next, we have this diversity and competitiveness, where we have these six following competitive advantages. To proceed, I'll present to you the very first argument, which is the cost argument. The cost argument suggests that organizations that learn to manage diversity generally have higher levels of productivity and lower levels of turnover and absenteeism. Dito, sinasabi na kapag ang isang organization learns to manage diversity, it will lead to high employee satisfaction. So, with that, bababa yung number of turnover nila and absenteeism among employees. And this will also lead to higher productivity among their employees. Secondly is the resource acquisition argument. It says here that an organization that manage diversity effectively will become more known to women and minorities as a good place to work. Thus, this will likely attract qualified employees from all segments of society to be more competitive. Sinasabi dito na kapag ang organization embraces diversity, magkakaroon sila ng higher chance to attract top talents, especially when they set aside the existing differences in the culture, ethnicity, gender, as well as their educational backgrounds. This will also enable the organizations to create a talent pool where they can exchange and gather new ideas, emphasize innovation, and share their unique problem solving approaches, which will also place the organization to a good standing in the market. Thirdly is the marketing argument. In the marketing argument, it suggests that the organization with diverse workforces will be able to understand different market segments better than with less diverse organization. Additionally, Actively supporting a diverse workforce can help organizations to develop insights and cultural competency necessary to succeed in the global marketplace and to effectively reach subpopulations within the domestic marketplace. So, in this argument, it emphasizes different market segments. So, let's take Avon, a cosmetic brand, as an example. In order for them to reach broader audience, they even created a marketing team which is diverse and promotes inclusivity. Ito yung strategy nila para maparating sa audience nila that their brand recognizes multiple skin tones and beauty needs. They also placed various models coming from different ethnicities and backgrounds. This is to showcase specifically that their brand considers various types of beauties. And then the fourth one is the creativity argument. Sinasabi dito na diverse workforce will likely be more innovative, have various problem-solving approaches, which will create a competitive advantage for the firm against its competitors. So, fifth, which is related sa creativity argument, is the problem-solving argument. In this problem-solving argument, it suggests that more diverse organizations will be more competitive because they tend to have larger pool of unique informations. In an organization, everyone's information or how an individual addresses problems are different from the other. Through this, it will allow the firm to identify better solutions. And lastly, we have this system flexibility argument. This argument for diversity and competitiveness suggests that organizations with diverse workforces are more adaptable to changing conditions and can respond effectively to challenges and opportunities in the market.
So hello everyone, my name is NADJIA and I will be talking about diversity and conflict. So let us start first by defining what is diversity. Diversity in a workplace refers to the presence of employees from different backgrounds. Kasali dito ang race, if you're Asian, black or white, ethnicities, gender, ages, religion, sexual orientation, and cultures. So diversity in a workplace also include differences in skills, experiences, and perspective. Meanwhile, conflict in the workplace arises when these differences lead to misunderstanding, discrimination, or tension among employees. So kapag may hindi pagkakaunawaan or diskriminasyon na nangyayari sa pagitan ni employee, dito pumapasok ang conflict sa workplace. So therefore, diversity in an organization can become a major source of conflict for various reasons. So first, perceived unfair treatment. Conflict arises when employees have believed decisions in hiring or promotion are based on diversity status rather than merit. So, kapag nagkakaroon ng conflict, kapag sa tingin ng mga ibang empleyado, may biases na nangyayari sa pagka-promote ng isa. For example, na-promote ang isang manager dahil sa edad niya or dahil siya ang pinakamatagal na nagtrabaho, pero average performing lang naman siya, when in fact, may mga mas magaling sa kanya. So, that is the first. Second is racial conflict. So, based sa textbook definition, conflict between white and African or American employees due to accusation of discrimination and biases. So, dito is may stereotypes na nangyayari which can result in discrimination and leading to resentment from both sides. So, third, misunderstood interaction. Kapag magkaiba kayo ng kinasanayan, there is a tendency na may conflict na mangyayari since nami-misunderstand nila. So, imagine, a male executive tells a joke to a new female employee. You might think he's being friendly, but if a joke is inappropriate, it can offend her. So this can lead to tension not only with the person involved, si male executive, but across the whole company, especially if the company culture tolerates such behavior. So fourth, next is the impact on corporate culture. Sometimes company believe diversity hurt their strong unified company culture. So, for example, we have here, Pepsi had a lawsuit because its background check unfairly excluded African American applicants. So, dito yung pumapasok yung race. Napatunayan na hindi sila tumatanggap ng African American race applicants. So, what happened is that they had to pay large settlement and offer job to those denied, showing how company policy can unintentionally lead to diversity-related conflicts. Tapos, meron pa tayong generational conflict, cultural miscommunication, fear and distrust. But same thing lang naman sila since dito pumapasok ang diversity and conflict. So, to conclude, these things can happen when diversity is fully managed in organization. However, if the company or organization actively promote inclusion, understanding, and respect for diversity, it can reduce conflict and help create a productive workplace. So next, the bottom line on diversity. Study shows conflicting result on diversity effect with some findings, positive outcome, others finding negative outcome, and finding no clear relationship at all. So by positive outcome means better performance and less conflict, while negative outcome result to poor performance resulting to more conflicts. So example of this is kapag ang company na mas maraming diversity, mas aring makabuo sila ng mas magandang performance since malawak ang magiging perspective nila, and less conflict since they will be less misunderstanding and more on collaborative among the employee. So, some scholars suggest that the relationship between diversity and performance conflict isn't straightforward. Hindi siya palaging linear, kaya may tinatawag tayo na level of diversity. So, tatlo sila: low diversity, moderate diversity, and high diversity. So, sa low diversity is that since lahat ay magkakapareha, you don't get the creative benefit. But there is also less conflict since limited lang ang perspective. So, ang nangyayari is limited perspective lang since meron and common na rin ang ideas na masishare nila. However, if the diversity is high, where there is a wide representation, iba-ibang perspective ang masishare ng bawat isa. Since they have varied background, they bring different ideas and approaches to solving problem.
So this is my topic. Managing diversity in an organization is about making sure everyone feels welcome and valued no matter their background. Here a simple idea. Recognize difference. People come from different places, have different belief, and have different experience. Value everyone. Treat everyone with respect. Appreciate what they bring to the team. Work together and create a space where everyone can share their idea and work together effectively. Here are some ways to do this. Hire from different background, look for people with different experience and skills, train everyone, and diversity help people understand and respect each other. Difference create a welcome environment, make sure everyone feels comfortable and included. By doing this thing, organizations can create a more successful and productive workplace from everyone. Here's how to be good teammate in diverse world. Number 1, be curious, ask questions, learn about the other, and be open to different way of thinking. Number 2, be kind, treat everyone with respect, even if you don't understand them fully. Number 3, be exclusive. Make sure everyone feel welcome and included in your group. Number 4, be good listener. Pay attention to do what others say even if you disagree. By doing these things, you can help create more welcome and understanding environment for everyone.
Next topic is organization strategies for dealing with diversity. First is organizational policies. Managing diversity starts with the policies that an organization puts in place. These policies directly or indirectly shape how people are treated within the workplace. An organization's commitment to equal employment opportunities significantly affects diversity. Some companies follow this law strictly, only ensuring compliance. This means that while they're not discriminating, they're not actively seeking out diverse candidates either. On the other hand, some organizations go beyond just following the law and actively promote diversity, creating a more varied and inclusive workforce. Another important factor in organizational policy is how the company handles problems that arise from diversity like sexual harassment. For instance, if an organization's policy make it difficult for victims to prove harassment or issue light punishment to those found guilty, it sends a message that diversity and individual rights are not important. However, a company with fair, balanced policies that takes issues like harassment seriously shows that they respect and value diversity. This reflects how much the organization cares about individual rights and privileges. While diversity is valuable, some argue that it shouldn't be a top focus due to the challenges it brings like potential conflicts or extra management effort. Next topic is organizational practices. Organizations manage diversity not just through policies but also through flexible practices and procedures. A good example is Avon's network for different groups which promote inclusivity. Organizations should use flexible practices to accommodate employees' unique needs like customizing benefit packages. For instance, a single parent may need more insurance or vacation time that aligns with school holidays, while another employee may need less insurance but flexible vacation time with their spouse. Offering flexible working hours is another way to support diversity. For instance, an employee observing religious holiday outside of the regular calendar might need to adjust their work hours or take off certain days to attend religious events. Similarly, someone pursuing continuing education might need flexible hours to accommodate class schedules, allowing them to develop skills while still fulfilling work responsibilities. Finally, it's important that diversity is reflected in leadership and committees. Even if the overall workforce is diverse, lack of diversity in key groups can send the wrong message. Having diverse teams, especially in leadership, ensures inclusivity is deeply rooted in the organizations. Next topic is diversity training. Many organizations today use diversity training as a tool to manage diversity and reduce conflicts that may arise from differences in the workplace. This training is specifically designed to help employees better understand each other, communicate effectively, and minimize conflicts. Diversity training can take many forms, and its goal is to improve understanding and cooperation among employees. One example is helping men and women communicate better. In one company, male managers realized through training that some of their comments, which seemed harmless to them, could actually be interpreted as sexist. Meanwhile, managers learned how to express their discomfort in a professional and non-confrontational way. Another example involves companies like Jollibee Food Corporation have implemented diversity training to promote cultural sensitivity. This training educates employees about the various cultural backgrounds within the workforce, including indigenous people and migrant workers. By fostering an understanding of different customs and traditions, employees learn to appreciate the diverse perspective which enhances teamwork and reduces misunderstandings. Some organizations even provide language training as a part of their diversity management efforts. For instance, some companies offers English and Filipino or other foreign language classes to employees, ensuring that all team members can effectively communicate with each other and with customers. This training helps bridge language barriers, improves teamwork, and enhancing customer services. Last topic is organizational culture. The culture is the ultimate test of an organization's commitment to valuing diversity. For diversity to be truly integrated, there must be a fundamental belief that is important. This belief needs to be deeply rooted in the organization's culture and not just be words on paper. Tough management commitments is crucial. When leaders actively support diversity, it sets a positive example for everyone. For instance, Ayala Corporation emphasizes diversity by having its executive leads initiative focus on gender equality and inclusivity. Their leaders are involved in community outreach programs that promote education and opportunities for marginalized groups, showcasing a strong commitment to diversity at all levels of the organizations. Organizations must shape their culture to value diversity in all forms, like for SM Investment Corporation fosters an inclusive culture by implementing training programs that raise awareness about cultural sensitivity and the importance of embracing diverse backgrounds. They also actively recruit from various communities, ensuring a diverse workforce that reflects the country's rich cultural tapestry.
Multicultural organization. So, ano nga ba ang multicultural organization? Sa multicultural organization, nag-e-employ sila ng mga individuals or employees from different cultures or backgrounds, and those employees are all treated well and respected. So, ang multicultural organization is characterized siya na anim. So, first is yung pluralism. So, ang pluralism dito is all employees from different backgrounds or cultures are trying their best to respect each other. Like, for example, yung mga African employees. So, yung mga African American employees, they try their best to understand white employees. Same goes to white employees. They try their best to understand their black colleges or yung mga African American employees. So, next naman is yung full structural integration. So, yung full structural integration naman is yung people from different cultures are included in all levels of organization. So, what it means is yung mga tao from different cultures is kasali sila sa lahat ng mga decision making ng organization. So, walang naiiwan doon and they are all included. Next naman is a full integration of informal networks. So, ang informal networks is yung friendship or yung bond na nabubuo ng mga employees sa isa't isa. Like, kahit man they are from different backgrounds or cultures, they still have connections with each other. Next naman is the absence of prejudice and discrimination. So, dito naman is yung organization, ginatry nila yung best nila na i-remove yung biases or discrimination inside of their organization. So, number 5 is no gap in organizational identification based on cultural identity group. So, what it means is employees feel connected sa organization na tinatrabahuan nila. And ang example nito is at United Nations, people from many countries work together towards common goals. They celebrate team successes, which helps everyone feel like they belong no matter where they came from. And lastly is low levels of intergroup conflict. So, dito naman is yung organization is tinatry nila yung best nila na iwasan yung mga misunderstanding or conflicts na nabubuo from sa mga employees nila, especially if yung mga employees nila is from different cultures, so it means they also have different opinions or perspective. So yun yung ginagawa ng organization. Gina-try nila na iwasan yung mga misunderstandings between their employees.
Managing knowledge workers. HR managers face the challenge of managing a diverse workforce, but the workplace has also changed significantly. Companies have shifted from producing tangible goods to focusing on services and knowledge. Many organizations have now deal with primarily in knowledge, offering expertise in areas like investment and consulting. This change require effective management of knowledge as a value resource, especially since more organizations are employing knowledge workers who need special handling. Organizational learning, the process by which an organization learns from past mistakes and adapts to its environment.
So good day everyone. So let's proceed to my report, Organizational Learning. In the information age, employees add value simply because of their knowledge, creating new challenges for managing work relationships. Knowledge workers, including computer scientists, engineers, and physical scientists, are crucial for future firms. They work in high-tech firms, often working autonomously and identifying more with their profession than the organization. Effective management of these workers is crucial for future success. Information-driven jobs demand knowledge workers who require extensive training and specialized skills. However, not everyone is willing to invest in these jobs. Retraining and updates are crucial to prevent skills from becoming obsolete. Organization must tailor compensation and career development policies for knowledge workers, offering equivalent compensation to management. High-tech organizations often offer technical career paths paralleling management paths, allowing knowledge workers to carry out specialized work without managed responsibilities. Salary adjustment for management workers are often based on maturity curves rather than performance, as more experience makes employee more valuable.
Next topic is knowledge workers. Knowledge workers are crucial to the success of organizations. Traditionally, knowledge workers such as engineers and computer scientists are essential for innovation and maintaining competitive advantage. Organizations that effectively manage them are more likely to succeed. Knowledge workers are often prefer autonomy or to work freedom and identify more with their profession than their organization. To retain them, companies must provide ongoing training and development as skills can become outdated quickly, often within 3 years. To motivate these workers, organizations should offer tailored compensation and parallel career paths. High-tech firms frequently provide competitive salaries and specialized roles to keep knowledge workers engaged and committed. With rising demand for knowledge workers, companies have started implementing strategies like pay adjustment and signing bonuses to attract top talent, reflecting the competitive job market.
Okay, so now let's proceed to the subtopic 86, which is the human resource management and social issues. So in this one, it discusses that the growing importance of social issues in the workplace, particularly among the younger employees in the 21st century, have made the organization more focused on the broader impact of their practices, with the HR managers increasingly responsible for implementing social responsibility initiatives. So there is a rising awareness that organizational goals can be aligned with societal and employees' needs.
So let's proceed to my second topic, prison labor. Prison inmates often work within institutions, traditionally making license plates, fixing roads, and doing laundry. However, this shift is concerning for the labor movement and human resource managers in the US. The number of federal convicts and state and local inmates has increased significantly since 1990, with prison wages ranging from $0.23 to $1.15 per hour. Additionally, laws governing inmate labor have changed, making it easier to sell inmate-produced goods on the open market. Low-cost goods can compete with minimum wage workers, potentially threatening low-paid, unskilled jobs. Critics argue prison labor affects high school dropouts' employment opportunities and wages, and does not prepare inmates for outside job post-release. The issue of allowing products produced by prisoners to compete with those produced by legal wage workers is a concern. While companies may need incentives to hire prison workers, allow these goods to compete may lead to a heavy reliance on prison labor. Additionally, it is important to consider the work inmates do for future employment and pay. Proponents argue that paying employees and a living wage is necessary to support families above poverty level. Connecticut and the District of Columbia have implemented minimum wage increase of over $9 and $10 per hour, respectively, to ensure working people can live at a reasonable level. Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans led to a labor shortage in fast food restaurants, with Burger King offering higher wages and bonuses. However, Katrina destroyed lower middle-class housing, making it expensive and unable to attract enough employees.
Imagine, you need to buy food, pay rent, and get work. A living wage is the amount of money you need to cover all those basic things and live a decent life. It's different from the minimum wage, which is the lowest amount of money an employer illegally required to pay you. A living wage is usually higher because it's to make into account the real cost of living in a specific place. Why is living wage important? Fairness. It's fair for people to earn enough money to live comfortably. Stronger communities. When people have enough money, they can spend more, which help local business and the economy. Happier worker. People who can afford their basic needs are less stressed and more productive at work. It's not always easy to make sure everyone earn in living wage, but it's an important goal to strive for. Thank you.
Next is immigration. Immigration has been a significant issue in the US politics, especially during 2016 presidential race. The topic gained attention in 2006 when Congress began addressing illegal immigration. So, maraming tao ang nagalit about illegal immigrants entering the country and working. Illegal immigrants often, without the ability to complain about their conditions, they typically accept lower wages kaya mas nagiging vulnerable sila to exploitation. Because of this, the US citizens and legal immigrants may struggle to find jobs because employers can hire illegal immigrants at lower rates. Well, Congress tried to create laws to manage illegal immigration while offering a paid path to citizenship for those already in the country. But yung mga political disagreements stopped the progress. Globally, immigration remains a heated issue, especially with refugees crisis from places like Syria. Countries are debating how to manage borders, protect their own workers, and support immigrants in a fair way.
Social responsibility and social entrepreneurship. So, corporate social responsibility or CSR is when companies take responsibility for how their actions affect society and the environment. So, what it means is yung mga companies, tinatry nila ang best nila na mag-act ethically para ma-help yung communities and ma-reduce yung harm sa ating environment. Like, ang example nito is ang Ben and Jerry's. Itong Ben and Jerry's is a company na nagsasell ng ice cream, but they also support causes like climate change and fair trade. So, minimake sure nitong company na to na yung ingredients na ginagamit nila is nagsispeak siya ng social justice. Next naman is the concept of social entrepreneurship. So dito naman is yung mga skills ng business is ginagamit nila yan para ma-solve yung mga social problems na nangyayari sa mundo natin. So, it means that starting a business does not only makes money, but also helps people or the environment. So, ang example nito is yung Bayani Brew dito sa Pilipinas. It is a coffee shop business. So, not pala. So, yung Bayani Brew pala, they sell herbal drinks and uses its profit to support local farmers, helping the community grow. So, itong Bayani Brew is, bumibili sila ng mga products from farmers para na rin merong mapagkakitaan yung mga farmers. So, they support them. And dahil sa ginagawa nila is nakakatulong sila, especially sa mga farmers.